The Centre to Combat Corruption and Cronyism C4 Centre has called for a comprehensive review of standard operating procedures in freight forwarding companies to address the issue of misclassified goods. C4 Centre Chief Executive Officer Pushpan Murugiah said this when commenting on today's bust involving a smuggling ring which evaded taxes estimated at 3.5 billion ringgit over a 10-year period.
I think the main issue the customs needs to address is to look at its SOP again. It's very common to hear freight forwarding companies giving inaccurate classifications of goods. In this particular case, they're classifying those goods as medical equipment. I've also heard of companies where unknown companies were used. So it's not something new, not something that is happening yesterday. It's been ongoing for many, many years. And this problem is already known. So I think it's important for the customs or the government to have perhaps a committee to look down and see what is wrong with the entire SOP. What are the processes that need to be changed? What are the improvements that needs to happen in order for customs to be more efficient as a means of collecting revenue for the government? Now, the other issue is when you have these companies or these issues popping up very often, there should be a database of legitimate freight forwarding companies so that we can detect and identify who are the ones that exporting and importing certain goods. So when they are caught with illegal activities, we should be able to blacklist them and look at their activities and perhaps get their directors or their owners to be accountable. I think that element is missing in terms of finding accountability and looking at beyond the companies who are involved in the business themselves. Now we cannot keep losing money, like this when we have when it's known to be happening, when it's common knowledge, when it's always been happening over and over again. There should be initiative by customs itself to actually try to find ways to solve this problem of instead of carrying on this business as usual attitude. Now it's also important to understand why are these ships or these containers allowed to be docked temporarily and then letting them go. There has to be some form of collusion. We have to identify, was there any bribery paid to any officers, who was involved in the entire process, who was signing off those documents, and also what happened to our scanners. We invest so much of money to actually have scanners to help the custom officers be more efficient in scanning for contrabands or smuggled goods. So these are all taxpayers' money that has been invested to ensure that we have a good agency to help us improve our revenue for the country, but it appears not to be working. So I think the most important thing is for us to look at how we want to improve the entire process, look at the SOPs, look at the interventions that can be done, and perhaps they need to have an independent oversight body or even from the parliament itself to address this issue from stage one right up to the end. Too much money has been lost through this kind of leakages that is actually harmful for the country.